Hi, I'm Phil, and today I wanted to share with you some of the preparations for the STEM Christmas workshops at Parramatta and Blacktown. So here's the session advertised for Parramatta, and it's about coding Christmas lights with music using the microbit computer. And the program here is that there'll be an introduction to Makecode music. Then the second topic is how to program Christmas lights. Then after lunch, we synchronize the two together. Then in the final 90 minutes, the students do their own project. And similarly with Blacktown, there could be a shorter program, but I've prepared also for a longer one, and it's quite similar. Now, I'll just walk through some of the aims of the project using this mind map. And the overall goal is to teach the coding and music and how they're related together. So I'll just move the mind map so that we can see it. So with music, we'll be learning the basics and relating a music score to software coding and to mathematics. So in the music, we have timing with rhythm, harmony, and we've got the scales, and we relate that to software coding. And we'll explore using computers and electronics as part of our making culture. We'll be using the microbit computer, and the theme will be Christmas, where we'll be using Christmas music and Christmas lights. And some of the demonstrations will let the students make their own Lego models, and there'll be Christmas themes in those models. And if we look at that synchronizing of the lights, we'll be looking at different patterns of music, and we'll be selecting the music from music sheets, then translating that to code. So, some of the components that we're using are computers, audio devices, electronics. There'll be shields, Lego, and we might have a look at a couple of those. So the main one will be the Windows PC and the microbit. And for audio devices, to make it a little bit more interesting, we've got a small speaker on the microbit computer, but we could extend that. So if we add the Grove speaker to the microbit, we can make the music sound a lot better. And we'll be doing that in the workshop. And some of the other devices will be using the Bitgadget kit with the neopixel RGB strip. Or we could use devices like MOSFETs to drive the lights. Looking at the Lego components, there's a lot of Lego components that are possible, and I've looked at quite a lot of these. The transparent brick kit from the set is very good, and it allows LED lights to be located inside the transparent bricks to make interesting models. And some of these other models are either large or small. So the penguin and the snowflake ornament is one of the models we'll be using. But the other two there, the wreath and the Christmas tree, are too large to actually handle and transport to the workshops. Santa will be used, and these other ones, they're too big to be used at the workshop itself. But I will be using the smaller version of the holiday Christmas tree, so students can put their own transparent Lego pieces on the tree with Lego lights. And I'll also be using these bulbs, and students can put these together. So these are some of the examples of the bulbs that I've got. And that's one of the options that students can look at. I'm using like my bricks and brick stuff that can go on to those Lego components. And I'm using a bit of acrylic art where the lights can shine through and give interesting patterns to the engraved patterns on the acrylic sheets. So these are some of the ones that we'll be using. For LEDs, there's quite a number of different types we'll be using at the workshop. The top one from Chibitronics allows LEDs to be pasted on to paper or cardboard, including Christmas cards, to give them a more dynamic effect. So these are some of the cards that we've got available that can be animated. So, okay, we might return to the mind map now and view it as a presentation and just go to the projects. And in the workshop, the students do an introduction to music and its relationship to coding. The coding is done with Microsoft Makecode, and we use the microbit version of that. And there are 3 projects. Well, we start off with Brother John. We then go on to We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And they can also do the full version of that. So the objective here is to relate music that you listen to sheet music and color and code that with Makecode. So the music that we're using, we've got a variety, and students can select any of the Christmas music that we've got available. So that's there for them. There won't be enough time to look at other languages like Python, but that is available for the more advanced students. And we'll be synchronizing everything together. So there'll be a couple of projects there. A simple one, we'll just synchronize the music with the lights. And once we've done all that, students can then do their own project. So they can either do a Christmas tree, and it can be one on paper that uses these stencils, and the students can put LEDs behind there. Or alternatively, they can use a printed circuit board like these ones, or the 3D acrylic glass. And there's an example of one of the projects where they put together and synchronize again with the LEDs. And the hardware-wise, they use the acrylic art. The other hardware for that, they use a Grove 10 LED mini strip. And just moving down, they can make their own Christmas cards or use conductive tape. And our previous video looked at the Chibitronics Chibi chip, which can be programmed just like the microbit with Makecode. Another project they can do is they can be a bandmaster that can control the music with gestures in their hand. And they could also do a music box. So they're projects that the students can do, and they don't have a lot of time to do that. The demonstrations, There'll be demonstrations that they can have a look at either before the workshop or after, and they'll include the Lego Christmas tree, the Chibi Chip Christmas, or we've got a couple of computers. Again, they're similar to microbit, but they come from Adafruit. The main advantage of these is that the light array, the neopixels, and the speaker are embedded on the computer board. So there's nothing extra to connect. They're quite easy. So this one, the top one is the Adafruit Circuit Playground Express. And this is what it looks like. About the same cost as microbit. And the project that we have on here is, I'll demonstrate We Wish You a Merry Christmas using the Adafruit Circuit Playground Express. Same aim, play music, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And the score for that is this one. So we're using the Boomwackers color coding, and that will be synchronized with the lights. So each note on the chromatic scale is represented on the musical score. Now, we use a very simple score, which doesn't include advanced timing, considering that most of the students won't even have had much experience with sheet music. For the hardware, we'll use the Circuit Express, and for software, very similar to the Makecode for microbit, we'll be using Makecode for the Adafruit Circuit Express. So let's go to the website and have a look at that. And this is what it looks like on Makecode. And similar, this program is almost identical to the one that we would use on microbit, except we use different blocks for the neopixel or the light animation. And if we wanted to see how it looks, before we look at how it works, we'll have a look at the construction. So we set up the animation, and we set up the calls to each line in the music sheet. So line 1 is a function, and that corresponds to line 1 in the musical sheet. And the color coding corresponds to the Boomwackers color coding. So a red color corresponds to middle C, and green corresponds to middle F. So it can be more advanced, and if students wanted a sharp or a flat, they can easily pick that from the keyboard. Alternatively, we could modify the timing to give us a half beat or other selections here to make it more authentic. Okay, so that's all of our coding. So we might do a bit of a demonstration. Again, Makecode includes a simulator on the left, and if we wanted to press button A, we can do that also on the simulator. So let's do that now. Okay, so that's one version. The other device that's available is quite similar, but it's the Circuit Playground Bluefruit, also by Adafruit. And it's similar to the, let's have a look, very similar in shape to the Express. So same objectives: play the music, synchronize that with lights, And the hardware, we're using the Bluefruit. And software, we use a different version of Makecode. This one's called Makecode for makers or Makecode. So if we look at that one, we'll bring that up on the, so we'll bring this up on our Chrome browser. And it's just loading this now. So here you have, it's almost identical to the previous one. In fact, it is. But it's a slightly different version of Makecode. So it supports quite a number of different processors. So if you actually, you can choose hardware, and we're using, the one that we've got here is the Adafruit Circuit Playground, Bluefruit. But there are other ones that you could pick. They support the Express. So you could use, as long as you select the correct target, that is the processor board, it will play that music once you download it. And again, if we simulate that, so if we press button A does the same thing as the previous version. So all those colors there correspond to Boomwacker colors for the note that's being currently played. So we just go back to our, and the only other thing we've got now is just the references. So you can go to the manufacturers and get the boards, either the microbit or go to Adafruit to get the board from Adafruit. So we'll just have a quick look at those references. And there's plenty of support on the web for projects that relate to Christmas music and makers software and other art components that can be used on projects for Christmas. So that's all for me for the time being. I'll catch up with you later.